When you first start, you come here on I-Day, right? The commissioning day seems so far away. It's not even in our minds.
I think about it as a plebe, how much I looked up to the upperclassmen and seeing where they were gonna go. I feel like it's the closure. It's like the culminating event of what you came here to do for 4 years.
I've been waiting for this moment for like 8 years now because I joined the Navy back in 2012. So I always, looked at officers like one day that's gonna be me.
4 of the most intense years of your life. You have put everything into these 4 years.
Really towards the end, it's just so special that everything is coming to an end.
This is coming faster than I think it's going to. And it's like that's what we came here to do. We came here to graduate and to serve.
This is really a unique situation that the world is in right now.
Worldwide this morning, growing concern over a growing health crisis.
The coronavirus is a pandemic.
Tonight, true to its name, the Navy ship, the USNS Comfort, pulling into New York Harbor, past the Statue of Liberty, the 1,000-bed ship, here to relieve pressure on the city's overwhelmed hospitals.
So I sit at the kitchen table with my laptop and I pretty much get all my work done.
Class of 2020 university throughout the country will always have this as a part of their story.
I can't imagine not having a graduation from the Naval Academy. It's like, that's what you've been working for. But then someone reminded me, like, you're not working for the graduation. Like, you're working to graduate, but like, you're not working for the graduation itself.
Hitting this milestone that catapults you into the future is what I believe we're all most excited about.
The magnitude of it is really starting to set in. We're really about to start our lives.
It goes fast.
I know that the best is to come.
This is what I've finally been waiting for.
It just seems unreal.
Well, I'm going Navy pilot.
I'm supposed to get married this summer before I go to my first ship.
A commission as a Marine ground officer.
I'm gonna head out to Monterey, California.
I'm gonna be a direct IP officer. So excited. I was so excited.
It's a little bit scary because it's for real now. There's no going back.
So I'm really excited to see where the next place is going to take me.
I've wanted to fly my whole life, so I'm excited to start that journey and just excited to serve the country.
Class of 2020, rise.
From the first company, Dustin W. Carwile.
From the second company, Tyler M. Courtney.
Colin H. Gavin.
Brendan Finn.
Ethan Joseph Marcello.
Logan Parker Grove.
Dominic A. Pecanino.
Daniel C. McDonald.
Madison R. Runge.
Jordan Jacob Neal.
Benita L. Simmons.
Luke D. Robertson.
Mike Smith.
Lucas Watkins Udell.
Oliver Smith.
John M. Van Houten.
From the third company, Michael A. Cedillo.
From the fourth company, LaDavish Dorn.
Joaquin S. Gabriel.
Ethan J. Falzone.
Alex Kubera.
Carlos F. Mancia.
Jamie W. Lee.
Andrew J. Rankin.
Jared McCulloch.
McKenna M. Resconich.
Declan Mercer.
Taylor M. Sparks.
Riley D. Treat.
From the sixth company, Cheyenne I. Coughlin.
From the fifth company, Chandler Vincent Smith, Derbyshire.
Hayden S. Periqueta.
Emily Feng.
Kelly Marie Harrington.
Darren E. Keglevitz.
Eugene Kim.
Jacob R. Lang.
Madeline S. McGuire.
Christopher M. Murray.
Christina Quigley.
Tucker A. Nixon.
Jackson Sylvester.
From the 7th Company, Marissa R. Amadeo.
From the 8th Company, Malone Banauskas.
Tyler John Chima.
Ryan Cho.
Matthew C. Frazier.
Peter Maximilian Gelbach.
Catlin E. Goss.
John P. Giot.
Andreanne J. Oakley.
Nash T. Nickerson.
Demetrius Thomas.
Arjeen Kate B. Tugade.
Daniel Stephen Zoyner.
George T. Zolovic.
From the 9th Company, Raina Emmy Carroll.
From the 10th Company, Jacob A. Lindo.
Daniel T. Chung.
Connor M. Mannion.
Julia A. McFarland.
Brett Daniel Silvestri.
Andrew J. Murphy.
Connor P. Wilson.
Tyler J. Reesner.
Sebastian Zuleta.
Rory P. Sprague.
From the 12th Company, Matthew J. Clark.
From the 11th Company, Michel Boisha.
Joshua A. Cobb.
Franklin M. Bradley.
Aaron J. Ellis.
Thomas Brennan.
Joshua K. Johnson.
Nicholas S. Fortune.
Knut Christian Jones.
Parker Loftus.
Madeline E. Myers.
Jordan Paramore.
Jack C. Pollard.
Caroline P. Sears.
David J. Tustin.
Alexander J. Stamato.
From the 14th Company, James Honeycutt.
From the 13th Company, Michael J. Boyson.
Julia Renee Kelshevin.
Melissa Joy Carter.
Ju Wan Lee.
Matthew Cullen.
Sophia Godinez Shade.
Garrett W. Forrester.
Trent R. Tedderton.
Michael Garcia.
Michael A. Waldrop.
Marissa Johnson.
Holly Weber.
Sawyer Nicholas K.
From the 16th Company, Tristan Lee Brandon.
Alexandra P. Miller.
Sydney A. Hirokawa.
From the 15th Company, Eugene J. Hong.
Emily C. Klitgard.
Kevin W. O'Callahan.
Hannah L. Milliron.
Claire J. Ostrowski.
Rupam Mundell.
Jackson P. Pyle.
Dion Odom.
Alexandra M. Smith.
Connor P. Swetenow.
Preston H. Snyder.
From the 18th Company, Sargon Bebla.
From the 17th Company, Jordan A. Augusta.
John J. Dinofrio II.
Vincent Fox Angelino.
Richard Ford Higgins.
Jake Brophy.
Kayla Hodge.
Jacob M. Cunningham.
Ruth C. Langette.
Aubrey Elise Leggett.
Cullen S. O'Dear.
Frank A. Oniawa.
Connor Weber.
From the 19th Company, Connor Gamora Caniglia.
From the 20th Company, Amos Baishan.
John Patrick Daunt.
Paul Crothers.
Willem H. Fujimura.
Benjamin Royal King.
Samuel Perez.
Brennan R. Means.
David Andrew Robinson.
Shannon Elizabeth Miller.
Aaron Elizabeth Scudder.
Garrett L. Yu.
From the 21st Company, Nathaniel V. Blount.
From the 22nd Company, Joshua Amari Hayes.
Jason A. Henry.
Alexandra L. Heller.
Jacob H. Peterson.
Andrew J. Hopkins.
Alexander W. Pycook.
Ainsley Nicole Knight.
James R. Snyder.
Luke P. Ostrowski.
Jared Robert Tater.
Walker F. Russell.
From the 23rd Company, Abigail Argo.
William E. Vincent.
Glenn C. Daves.
From the 24th Company, Megan E. Grebet.
Noah R. Evans.
Sean A. Johnson.
Laura E. Cam.
Anthony Giovanni Ianacone.
Catherine T. McPherson.
Raquel R. Palma.
Tiger Ripley.
Hunter Wargo.
Valentine V. Vina.
From the 26th Company, Miles E. James.
From the 25th Company, Catherine M. Fung.
Danica Jordan Kahadapedia.
Anirudh Murali.
Alexandra Nicholas Kiefer.
Catherine Lauren Porter.
John McLaughlin.
Aiden James Sabadimas.
Braden M. Mead.
Patrick Newell Simons.
Brendan R. Philbin.
Elijah H. Vernon.
Christopher B. Wellens.
From the 27th Company, Derek Weston Golembrowski.
From the 28th Company, Michael Kasurgis.
Megan E. O'Malley.
John L. Mall.
Madeline O'Neill.
Gabriel D. Pilones.
Alana K. Phillips.
Zachary J. Rickert.
Marius Prince.
Gabriella Shine.
Caitlin M. Schmidt.
Charles B. Winston.
George W. Sterling III.
From the 30th Company, Joseph L. Guggenberger.
From the 29th Company, Gabriella Baltimore.
Natalie B. LaPlaca.
Elizabeth J. Drake.
Robert D. Martinez.
Hunter Douglas Holstead.
Hunter McGavran.
Emma R. Knapp.
Thomas Pasquale Reeder.
Mitchell O. Luckenbill.
Mir Small Siamansuri.
Andre Nicholas Nevado. And Creighton R. Tarrant.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now hear our national anthem sung by Midshipman First Class Matthew Frazier and the invocation by Lieutenant John Wiboko, Chaplain Corps, United States Navy.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, in these uncertain times, we thank you for a morning on which we can gather to celebrate the culmination of an exciting journey for the class of 2020. For a ceremony that carries the full weight of tremendous significance and achievement in support of family, friends, and mentors. And while the next few steps for these men and women may not be fully known, we do know that their overarching goal remains unchanged: to faithfully lead our sailors and Marines with strength and courage. And to that end, we are thankful for all that they have learned about adaptability, compassion, and overcoming obstacles as a midshipman, and especially over the past 2 months. We are comforted by your leading, your provision, and your protection in this process. And we ask for your blessing upon these graduates and their families. Help them to always remember that they are entrusted with leadership, to train, to model, and to instill confidence with their honesty, competency, and deep commitment. Help them to experience the great privilege and satisfaction that comes with inspiring the people under their care to achieve more than even they thought possible. Be with them and all of the men and women who go into harm's way to protect the peace of our great nation. Help us all to be people who possess the type of character that brings honor to you, our nation, the Navy and Marine Corps, our families, and our brothers and sisters beside us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the 63rd Superintendent of the United States Naval Academy, Vice Admiral Sean Buck.
Commandant Buchanan, Colonel Smitherman, Dean Phillips, Master Chiefs Kirby and Figueroa, Chaps Abuko, thank you, and Rear Admiral Dawson, a member of the great class of 1970, a member of a team that helped you with another link in the chain. Thanks for being with these young men and women for their journey, sir. Good morning, members of the class of 2020. It is awesome to have you back here. Awesome to have you back in person. I hope the move out went well yesterday, and you're looking really sharp in your uniforms this morning. I'm thankful to have the opportunity to address your class in person, even if in small groups at a time. I've truly enjoyed watching your class grow into your roles as firsties, and more recently, into soon-to-be commissioned officers. Simply put, I've loved being your superintendent this last year. Normally, every superintendent gets a chance to talk to the graduating class as a whole for the last time at your commissioning rehearsal. It's one last chance for me to give you my thoughts on what's to come and to express my gratitude for being able to be your soup. I'm instead addressing you in small groups, personally, on your commissioning day here in T Court, where your Naval Academy journey began, a sign of the unusual times we've lived through this year. While I wish we were under the blue skies at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, it means the world to me nonetheless to see each and every one of you on this tremendously important day in your naval careers. While you've been gone, as I've walked the empty paths on the yard here each day over the last 2 months, I've had some time to think about your class and the incredible journey that you all have embarked on together. From entering the academy as a plebe class with the highest average test scores in our institution's history, to capping off a record-breaking football season and bringing back the Commander-in-Chief's trophy to its rightful place, Bancroft Hall, your classmates have already experienced so many wonderful moments together as a Navy adventure, and you're only just beginning. While thinking fondly about your class on my daily commute from Buchanan House to Larson Hall, I often take a second to appreciate the words that are carved above the door of the Naval Academy Chapel. In Latin, non sibi sed patria, not for self, but for country. From the first time you formed up as a class, right here, right there on I-Day, we've asked you to memorize quotes from reef points or various phrases inscribed on our buildings and memorials around the yard. Many of these phrases are meant to inspire and serve as a constant reminder of the sort of selflessness we're looking for in our naval officers. Ship, shipmate, self. Don't give up the ship. Not for self, but for country. Honor, courage, and commitment. We ask you to take these words to heart and to indoctrinate those who will walk the halls of Mother B with the same values as you did. In some ways, the COVID-19 pandemic has forced you to live up to these ideals in a way that very few classes have had to during their respective first years. Even as superintendent, nearly 41 years into my own Navy journey, COVID-19 has challenged me in ways that I've never experienced before as a leader. In the midst of this pandemic, each of us across America is being asked to sacrifice something for the greater good, to think before we act, to put country and community before self. Each of you has had to forego the traditional spring semester of your first year that you've been looking forward to for 3.5 years. I truly appreciate the sacrifices you have made, and from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry that you are not going to be tossing your covers in the air with your whole class and surrounded by all your loved ones and friends. Like every single Naval Academy graduate before you, we know how much that moment means to you, to us, and to your family. But you've been asked, before you even have sworn the officer's oath, to put country before self. 2020, your time to serve in the fleet, to serve your country in the way you've imagined all along, is just around the corner. Literally just in a matter of moments. And when you do raise your right hand in a few minutes, I ask you to take a moment to be proud of the country that you have volunteered to serve and protect. This pandemic has unified our country in a way that only tragic events can. It has beckoned all of us to modify our behavior to keep our neighbors and our communities safe. It's challenged us to widen our normally small apertures and take in the bigger picture. This pandemic has also required ordinary people to deliver the extraordinary, to show up to work each day at great risk to themselves to help others. Every day we've seen it on television, we've read it in the press, we may have even witnessed it on our own with our own family members and friends. Healthcare workers, first responders, public transit operators, 18-wheel truck drivers, warehouse workers, and grocery store clerks wake up and go to work, keeping us healthy, keeping us fed, and keeping this country running. And they do this knowing full well that every interaction comes with significant risk to themselves and to their families. Unlike each of us, many of them did not raise their right hand and take an oath to serve their country. But for weeks, they've done just that. When you take your oath in a few minutes, you should take great pride in remembering that this is the country that you're promising and choosing to serve and protect. A country of ordinary people carrying out extraordinary acts to help out their fellow citizens in time of need. As is always the case in times of crisis, Americans have risen to the occasion. Your respective naval careers are just around the corner. You too will be tested in ways you've never imagined, by long hours, austere conditions, tests that will drain you mentally and physically, and moral dilemmas. I believe, in my heart, I believe and I know that each and every one of you is ready. You've put into work to develop yourself morally, mentally, and physically into ensigns and second lieutenants who I am incredibly proud to see commissioned today, and with whom I'm going to be very honored to serve shoulder to shoulder in the fleet. Class of 2020, you've got much to look forward to. While your careers will be challenging at times, they will also present you with adventures you've never imagined, incredible adventures. You're going to fly supersonic aircraft, you're going to drive ships and submarines around the world, and you're going to lead platoons alongside your classmates and friends from the Naval Academy. There is no cooler feeling than to serve out in the world in the fleet, operationally accomplishing the mission that your country has asked you to do. And there is nothing that brings greater humility and pride than being entrusted to lead and protect America's sons and daughters. You're going to feel the weight of that responsibility late at night, standing to watch, or behind the controls of an aircraft, or leading your platoon through hostile territory. 2020, take this responsibility seriously and work hard to earn the trust that you've been entrusted to lead. If you take care of them, they're going to take care of you. You're going to meet people along this Navy journey who will challenge you to be a better person, who will be willing to give their lives for you, and who will remain your closest friends for life. The intensity of our shared experiences in uniform forges bonds that last a lifetime. As a class, look out for one another in the fleet. While your spring semester together was cut short, I assure you that your time together as a class is far from over. Your shared path began right here in T Court on I-Day, and it will continue to bring you together through your years of naval service to future careers in command, citizenship, and government. Be there for each other in time of need and celebrate each other's accomplishments and milestones. Although we are not celebrating with your entire class here today, this shared experience you are living through will now bind you together as a class for the rest of your lives. 2020, the finish line is here. Let me state that more accurately. The starting line is here. I can't wait to commission every single one of you and bid you fair winds and following seas on the great adventure you all have been waiting for. I am proud of each and every one of you for reaffirming your commitment to put country before self today. It's been my immense pleasure to be your superintendent. I want to leave you with this one last thought. Never quit. Expect to win. Go Navy, beat Army.
The Senior Marine Representative, Colonel Jeffrey Smitherman, United States Marine Corps, will administer the oath of office to those being commissioned in the United States Marines. Colonel Smitherman, I present 45 midshipmen of the graduating class to be commissioned in the United States Marine Corps.
Thank you, Captain Buchanan. Class of 2020, It is really good to see you. Despite the unusual circumstances, it is really a privilege to be here with you today, to see you here, and to commission a portion of you into the Marine Corps. If I may, before I do that, I'd like to just offer 3 observations based off of our superintendent's great advice and comments to you. The first one is, realize that you are entering the service at a time of dynamic change. Your experiences this last semester, they are going to serve you well because you have to learn to operate in uncertainty. And so as we transition from a period of pure competition to having peer adversaries, it does not matter whether you take your guidance from the 38th Commandant of the Marine Corps, who published his guidance last year, from Admiral Gilday, who published the Frag Ode to Warfighting and Maintaining Maritime Supremacy. You must realize that it is working together to establish the supremacy of the joint maritime force that will enable our success as a country and in national security in the coming years. You are going to be a part of that, so get ready. My second thought for you is, you've had opportunities to practice leadership here at the Academy, be it on a sports team, as a billet in the brigade, perhaps with a student organization. And you've had great opportunities to listen to great leaders who've been very successful at applying the art and the trade and the skill of leadership. Many gems and pearls of wisdom, a lot of them offered in the last month by the Commandant on the Daunt Daily, right? I'm a fan, I'm a follower, it's okay. Hey, look, if you can get a prop from unsat mid, you know that you're either absolutely on target or a mile off, right? You've been on target. In fact, I would say that that's a testimony of the leadership of your Commandant, because he found a way to adapt and innovate to lead those that he's responsible for, right? But the most important thing is the commission you are about to assume is about leadership. The expectation is you will lead. And your sailors and your Marines, whom you are going to send into harm's way, need to know that you care for them. You will never be anything more than a manager or a figurehead if they don't know that you care for them. So be worthy, as the Commandant talked about, or as the superintendent talked about, being entrusted with the nation's sons and daughters. Be worthy of that. Be worthy of that every single day. And my last observation I'll offer to you just from my own very personal advice. I think your success that brought you to these seats today was in large part due to your ability to prioritize. And in life and in your careers, it will be your ability to prioritize that will mark your success. For me personally, at the grandest level, it was the ability to prioritize in order my faith, my family, my country, and my Corps. And I say my faith because I know it's a difficult thing for many people, but you are going to send those young sailors and Marines into harm's way. They want you to understand that there's a faith and a spiritual component to resilience that goes on before, during, and after the fight. And so if you're a person of faith, grow in that, keep it. And if that's not where you're at, that's okay. The most important thing is respect on both sides of that conversation. The second thing is your family. You're embarking on your professional careers. Might be 5 years, might be 40, but it will be a chapter in the book of your life. So love and take care of those who love you and whom you love, because they will be there when that is over. And it's worth investing in during the ride. When it comes to your country, you're supporting and defending the Constitution, not a political party, not a singular aspect of our society. We are one of the last institutions that is trusted in this nation. Do everything you must to protect that trust. And within that construct, it's been very easy for me to serve for my career, fight with a happy heart, And know that whether you're in the Marine Corps or the Navy, you are in the best Navy and Marine Corps in the world. But you must prepare every day to get ready to sustain that legacy. Who better to do that? Who better to do that than you? So with that, I will ask those graduates to be commissioned in the United States Marine Corps. If you will stand, please. Raise your right hand. Having been appointed a second lieutenant in the United States Marine Corps, to rank as such from the 22nd of May, 2020, do you hereby accept such appointment, and do you solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that you take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, so help you God? Semper Fidelis. Have your seats.
Thank you, Colonel Smitherman. Good morning, 2020. This is the, Monday edition of the Dont Daily, Monday morning edition, and welcome to the penultimate swearing-in ceremony. Might have to look that term up, by the way. What a glorious day it is, even under cloudy skies. I'm privileged to be amongst you and to be able to celebrate with you in a small but historic way. Here we are in Tecumseh Court, ending your Naval Academy journey exactly where it began, culminating your 4 maybe not so short years here in Annapolis. Indeed, each of you have worked hard to arrive at this point in history. My personal congratulations to each one of you. General Mattis usually says, "You've earned it." I know this ceremony does not look at all like the graduation ceremony that you or we imagined it to be. However, despite its uniqueness, it is no less special, and this moment is no less impactful. This moment where you swear an oath to serve as an officer in the United States Naval Service. You will reaffirm this oath every time you are promoted, and you're not swearing an oath to a person, but to defending an ideal. To be a public servant responsible to our nation, this is a special trust and confidence that you assume today. My advice is to listen to the poignant words of the oath and internalize them in your own lives. As your time as a midshipman comes rapidly to a close, please know that we all are very proud of you. And in short order, I'd like to provide just 3 pieces of free advice. I've not cornered the market on advice, for sure. But since my dad routinely provides me lots of it, I figured I'd give some of it to you. Best thing about this advice, it is in fact free. No silver dollars required here. And at the end of the day, you can discard it if you wish, but I would offer it might be helpful as we confront an uncertain future. First, become an expert in your chosen professional path. Being exceptional at your job is a force enabler, and achieving expert status is entirely up to you. Your performance here, the Naval Academy, is merely a way station for that future success. Attainment of that success will be dependent on how you integrate what you learned here with what you will learn in the very near future. Second, earn the trust of your leadership and your teams every day. Admiral Buck talked about it, Colonel Smitherman talked about it. You earn this trust through your positive engagement with others, your integrity, and your commitment to excellence. What you say, what you do, and how you carry yourself, it all matters. Your sailors and Marines will be watching closely. Finally, looking ahead to the future, simply be humble. Approach each day with a fresh outlook, value different perspectives, and be authentic. the transparency with which you live your life will keep you on the straight path. Know that our fighting force is better with you in it, and I am honored to stand with you today to welcome you into the Officer Corps of the United States Navy. Good luck, and God bless each one of you. Daunt out. Will the 152 midshipmen of the graduating class to be commissioned in the United States Navy please rise? Please raise your right hand. Having been appointed an ensign in the United States Navy to rank from the 22nd of May, 2020, do you hereby accept such appointment, and do you solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that you take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which you are about to enter? So help you God. I do. Congratulations. Ensign's seat.
Good morning. Well done. Today we administered the oath of office to 197 men and women who've met the many challenges of 4 years at the Naval Academy. In addition to those just commissioned into the Navy and the Marine Corps, 1 midshipman will be commissioned into the United States Air Force. The class of 2020 here today also includes 3 graduates from 3 nations around the world. At this time, I invite the following international graduating midshipmen to stand when their name is called. These graduates will return to their countries and serve with distinction in their armed forces or enter other government service. From the Republic of Kazakhstan, Almas Baishan. From the Republic of Marshall Islands, Andrzej Nevado. From the Republic of Poland, Mikal Bodzsia. Congratulations. Seats. While the class of 2020 has achieved many great things, we would like to recognize those graduates who have truly excelled in all areas. At this time, I invite these distinguished graduating midshipmen to stand when their name is called. Aiden Sabetimas, Noah Evans, Jamie Lee, David Robinson, Patrick Simons, Alana Phillips, Peter Gelbach, Trent Tedderton, Hunter Holstad, Darren Keglovitz, Christopher Wellens, Glenn Daves, Natalie LaPlaca, Jason Henry, Joseph Guggenberger, Holly Weber, Megan Gravette, Braden Mead, Ethan Marcello, and George Zolovic. Congratulations. Seats.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join with me in singing Navy Blue and Gold. The president of the class of 2020 will now come to the podium to lead us in our closing event. Please be seated.
Good morning, everyone. Before I share my brief remarks with you all, I would like to bring your attention to the seat in front of us in remembrance of our brother, David Forney, who will always be a member of the class of 2020. So please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. Although today is not the picture-perfect ending we had envisioned when we embarked on this journey at the United States Naval Academy, we have a lot to be thankful for, and we have a lot to celebrate. To the class in 1970, thank you for being with us from the very beginning. We have learned and grown from your mentorship along the way. This journey has had its very highs and its very lows. However, we have made history along the way. As we go our separate ways today, I want you all to remember how far we have come as individuals and as a class. We have always found a way, or made one, for better, yeah, and for worse. So congratulations to the class of 2020. May we continue to strive to be the positive change that we want to see in the world. So thank you, and God bless. So now, for the moment that we've all been waiting for, please rise. I propose 3 cheers for those we leave behind. Hip, hip. Hooray! Hip, hip. Hooray! Hip, hip.